Hi, it's Darnell with Way Living Recipes, and today I'm going to be cooking up some apple cinnamon donuts using the Oster extra large digital air fry oven. And we'll see how it does making these donuts. Going to be using a combination of almond flour and whole wheat flour, so it'll be kind of a combination of alternative flour with a whole wheat flour, and it comes out kind of nice. And so we'll see how this cooker does with it. Let's get cooking right now. Alright, so we got a lot of ingredients to go over here, and so I'm going to try and get through the dry ingredients first, then the wet ingredients. So back here in the back I've got 1 cup of whole wheat flour, then I've got a cup, sorry about that noise, I've got a cup here of blanched almond flour, I've got a 1/4 cup of vital wheat gluten here, got 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of a granulated sweetener. Use the one of your choice. This is the urethral monk fruit blend. Got a 1/4 teaspoon, sorry about that, 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt there. Got 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon there. For the wet ingredients, I've got 3/4 cups of water. I've got 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I've got 2 tablespoons of honey here in the bottom of this bowl, and all the wet ingredients will be getting mixed up here before they get into the dry. And the last ingredient is 2 apples. These are like 2 medium or small or medium sized apples chopped up in the food chopper. So I'm going to go ahead and get the wet ingredients and the dry ingredients into respective bowls, and then after I get them basically mixed in the respective bowls, then I'm going to mix everything into this one big bowl here. Alright, so I've got everything all mixed together there, and I've got these basically 6 donut trays. There's 6 donuts a piece that can be put in these trays, and I forget where I got them. They've had them so long, but you'd have to just find something comparable online. These are so old I don't even think they sell these types now, but they sell others online. They sell like donut pan type trays that you can use for baking, just different ones. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now, I'm going to take things here and basically get it laid out into the donut molds here. So I just basically take some of this dough here and just kind of move it around. I think I dropped a little piece there. I'm going to salvage that. But just try and get it put in around the donut hole here and do as many as I can. Lord willing, I get a dozen, but if I get less, that's okay too. But just going to basically get all of these laid out, and we'll see how many I have once I'm done. Okay, so I got everything in the donut molds. Going to start preheating the cooker down, so hitting bake. Going to leave it at that 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and for cooking time I'm going to leave it at 30 minutes. Maybe I'll need more, maybe not. I will try and spin things halfway through, but let's hit start. Let things start preheating. Once the preheating is done, we'll get them on in. Alright, preheat time is up. And get these in. I do want to mention, if I didn't earlier, I sprayed the molds with extra light olive oil, so that would try and keep things from sticking too much. And whoa, I don't think I'm going to be able to get them in that way. But maybe if I think it's going to be a little uncomfortable. Not able to get them in the way I want. Let's see. That's not going to work either. Oh boy, looks like I can't get 2 in as I hoped. I guess I should have checked that out beforehand, right? So that's on me. Let's see. I'll put this one over here like this, and I guess if I really kind of have it up on the edge a little bit, oh boy, it's going to be a little messy. I mean, like the ones in the middle are going to be a little messed up, but, and I guess the cooker got tired of waiting for me, because usually you have time to put the food in and then hit start, but it just went ahead and started, and thankfully I got things in there in time. But we're just going to go ahead and let them cook like that, because I don't want to have to do 2 separate runs. So we'll let them go ahead and cook, see what happens. I did want to also mention that when I use apples in my recipes, I use the whole apple, core seeds and all. Anyone who told you that you can't eat the seeds, that's a misnomer. You eat the whole apple with the seeds, all fine. But it's all up to you. Gonna let this go ahead and cook, bring it back. Okay, the donuts have been cooking for almost 10 minutes. Something I forgot about this cooker is that it doesn't have a pause. So I'm going to just leave them in there. I'm not going to try and open up while it continues to run, putting heat out to try and spin things around. It doesn't have the French doors. It's got, you know, the top bottom type of door. So maybe it'll hold heat better. We'll see. So we'll see if things are more done in the back than they are in the front. Maybe that'll happen, maybe it won't. But I'm going to go ahead and let them keep cooking, and we'll just pull them out when things look like they're done. Alright, things have been going for 25 minutes now, and even though it doesn't have a pause, I'm just going to open up to kind of feel and then probably stop things. So, get one out, and yeah, they're done. So, hit and cancel, stop the cook. And that's how that tray looks there. Looks good. Getting that off to the side. And get this other tray out here. Here's how that looks. Looks decent. Setting that aside. I'll bring you back after they cool down some. Okay, so gave things some time to cool down a bit. And we see that things didn't like cook too much on one side versus the other. I mean, you really can't tell real easily which side was in the front or the back of the cooker from my vantage point. You really can't. So things turned out pretty decent, pretty even cook overall. So I'm gonna go ahead and get one of these out, and Lord willing not break it up or anything. So just using this spatula here to kind of help me. There we go. Came up and out. So there we go. That's the bottom. That's your top. And set that on down there. And so now we can do ourselves a taste test. So thank God for some donuts, and let's taste. Okay, things turned out well, tastes good. I will say I can taste the apple. The cinnamon is a little too faint. I mean, it's good. The donuts are good, but I could have put a little more cinnamon in there. So maybe 3 or 4 teaspoons of cinnamon would have worked to give it a little more of a cinnamon type of a flavor in there, a little bit more. But still, all the same, they're good. But if you try it, you might want to just add a little more cinnamon, see how it turns out for you. And so in this video, nothing is sponsored, and so there's lots of ways to help channel in the video description: my cookbook, merch, membership, donations, all of that stuff. Link to the Amazon shop where you pay the same price, help the channel. And so with all of that said, I hope that you do give this video a thumbs up, share the video with a friend, leave your comments, subscribe, hit that notification icon, and good eating.